Good night, family. This is your girl, Sunshine Rain, and I'm back at it again with another video. So, I've been thinking about, men that does not know how to keep their ex-girlfriend, their ex-baby mama at bay, okay? And the reason is because a lot of men, they love drama, okay? They like to see other women fight over them, okay? And there's just some men that is just not aware, or they're not thoughtful, or they're just not protective, okay? But for the men that doesn't care if two women are fighting over him is really dangerous, okay? There are men that intentionally set up women to fight. I was dating a guy that intentionally tried to set me up to fight another girl, okay? And I watched and I observed his actions and the way he tried to set us up to fight, okay? And it's very sickening because, like, as men, you're supposed to be protecting women. You're supposed to be protecting us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, on every level. But yet they'll rather set two women against each other to fight over them just to boost their ego, just to make it seem like they're jealous when enough of them are not jealous. Enough of them have to pretend that them have a bag of gyal and pretend like they're the prize when they're really not until they prove it. Okay? The woman is the prize until the man can prove that he's also a prize, okay? But these men want to make it seem like they are the trophy, right? As I said before, these men are only the prize and only the trophy once they prove to a woman that he is the one, okay? So I watched and I observed how this guy tried to set me and this girl up to fight. He told me something about her, okay? And then he's like, oh, so you're not gonna go fight her? You're not gonna go do something? Oh, she said this. And then he went back to her and told her something about me that I did not even say. Because I'm not gonna go fight any woman for anything, okay? Not to say I'm a punk or anything, you know. If you know me, you know, okay? If you know, you know. If you know me, real OG, okay? You feel me? But I'm growing. I'm growing now. All right? When I get down and dirty. All right? And honestly, I'm saving a lot of people from myself. On the real. Okay? And I love myself too much to even put myself in a position where I have to fight another woman or fight someone, especially over a man. No. Mm-mm. You understand? These men need to man up and they need to stop making these women fight over them. They're not even all that. Majority of these men are not even men. If you are trying to set up two women that you claim you love to fight each other, to unalive each other for you, you are not a man. You are only a male with a penis. And that's it. Okay? A real man will make sure that any exes that he used to date has no contact for him. Okay? Doesn't have a social media. Doesn't know where he live. Okay? And if she does know where he live, he needs to protect his home. He needs to protect the woman that, he wants in his life, the new woman. Okay? Because majority of women are very jealous of other women and very cruel to other women, okay? It's very sad. All right, even though men are like that to other men too. But with the women it's just really sad, okay? And honestly, I really feel like majority of men are the reason why women are majority of women, because I'm not like that. Majority of women are so evil towards other women, is because these men make these women jealous because of the things they do. Because they lie, they cheat, they, intentionally try to make these women jealous. You know, like they will talk to other women in front of that woman just to see if she's gonna react, just to make a scene, just to make it seem like to his friends, like, whoa, you got girls fighting over you. You must got it. You got it. Right? Or they may do that just to boost their ego to make it seem like, yeah, well, I still got it. The girl's still fighting over me. They'll go cheat on their girlfriend just to make it seem like, yeah, they still got it. Right? Because a lot of men feel like once they're in a relationship, right? Once they're in, is it a monogamous relationship, right? They feel like that's it for them. They feel like they're bored, or they feel like they're not a man, or, their friends will make fun of them because they choose monogamy, okay? And, they just want to prove something to their friends to make it seem like, yeah, I still got it. I got a wife at home, but I still got it. I still got girls, fighting over me. I still got girls chasing me. They want to prove something to their friends, okay? And that's really sad because they put a lot of women's life in danger, okay? Because a lot of women that they are dating on the side don't know about the woman at home. And the woman at home, a lot of these women don't know about the woman on the side, because a lot of these men, are married men, and these women swear for these men that these men won't cheat because they proposed or they got married or whatever. So she may think like, no, he doesn't have any other woman on the side when he does. Okay? A lot of men get married just to cover up his doggish ways. Alright, I don't even want to say dog, but hoish ways, okay? They do that just to, make it seem like, yeah, he's mature now, he's married, and he's not gonna cheat, and, he's only with that one woman. But it's like basically giving a woman a hush up ring. Okay, so she feels like she's the only woman in the world that, he's interested in, when he has 2 or 3 other girls on the side. Okay. And when these women find out about each other, and they start fighting, and, one of them crossed the line and they try to unalive the other woman, a lot of these men don't even try to prevent them from fighting. They don't even try to stop it. A lot of men make this reach really far, okay? I've seen a video where, a girl unalived another girl because of a man. They're fighting over this man that is not even fighting for them. This man is not even fighting to keep any of them, okay? But they are fighting to keep this man that does not want to be kept, okay? This man is a community dick, okay? He is a community penis, community mattress. And they are trying to fight over this mattress, all right? I'm talking about the toxic men. I'm not talking about you divine masculine men, okay? I love y'all, all right? I'm not talking about you guys. But these toxic men that, they put a lot of women's life in danger wherever it comes to, STDs, wherever it comes to other women trying to fight and unalive, his new woman, wherever it comes to drama, conflict and so forth. A man is supposed to come into a woman's life with peace, right? But yet these are the same men that cry for peace whenever they are the one that is creating the chaos in women's life. You understand? These men are so contradicting. They're so selfish and they're so delusional. They create all this chaos in a woman's life, but yet they expect a woman to create peace in his life. They expect a woman to be loyal and faithful to him, but he's not loyal or faithful to her. Okay, there's no integrity, there's no trust, there's no loyalty, there's no real genuine love, right? But he wants to pose up with a woman that looks like a trophy, that looks beautiful, untouched, right? But yet he's for the streets, he's for the sheets, he's for the whole community. But this woman, he wants to keep that woman in the house, locked down in the house with a whole bunch of kids. While he go out, he cheat, he does his dirt, and then he comes back home and he brings the dirt into his house. Okay? If you know what I mean, right? A real man will make sure that his woman's health is safe. He will protect her health, and he will also protect the health of his children. Okay? He will not go out there and have sex with 2, 3 women and then come back home and have sex with his wife and then kiss his children. Okay? There's a lot of men out there that are cheating and they are performing oral sex on the women that they're cheating with. And then they come home, they kiss their wife, they kiss their baby, and the cycle continues. Okay? And then their wife and their children is wondering, where did they get this cold sore from? Where did they get this from? And they're not going out there cheating, and the kids are not, you know, like they're not sick or anything like that, but yet they have a cold sore from you know, nowhere. It just comes from like out of nowhere. You feel me? These men are not protective. They claim, oh, the man is supposed to provide and protect, but they don't provide anything. They don't protect anyone, not even themselves. Okay? A man is supposed to make sure that a woman's health is number one, and his children's health is number one, and his health is number one. Okay? But they do the total opposite. Like, they think people's life is a game. They don't take their life serious, so they don't take a woman and his children's life serious. You feel me? And it's really sad. It's really, really, really sad. Okay? And a lot of men don't understand that whenever they have sex with other women out there, right? Those other women that he's having sex with is having sex with other men. Okay? And those other men are having sex with other men and other women. Okay? And a lot of these men and a lot of these women go to jail and they have sex with other men and other women. And then they come out and have sex with other men and other women. And that cycle, just keep going around. These men should know this. And then they bring that home to their woman. Sexually demonic, sexually transmitted demons, sexually transmitted disease. They bring it back home to their women and children. Right? But when their women talk to them about this, they say she's nagging and she talks too much and she's argumentative and she's trying to always cause problems and fights, when he's supposed to be taking her life, his life, and their children's life serious. Okay? Because a lot of them don't understand that when a woman have an STD or AIDS or gonorrhea, chlamydia, or whatever, that can cause miscarriages. That can cause cancer. That can cause so many problems. Okay? A lot of these men don't understand that when they're having sex with other women, that's probably not even clean as their woman. They're probably not even eating right. They're probably eating a lot of junk, a lot of fast food, smoking, drinking, and so forth, right? And they're bringing that back home to their woman. They don't understand that all of that can mess up a woman's fertility. It can mess up a woman's menstrual cycle. Okay, they don't understand that if their woman catches or has, say like bacteria vaginosis, yeast infection, you know, they have it too. It may not show in the men, okay? It may show in certain ways that, it's not noticeable, right? But it may not show, as much as it show in the women, but just because it doesn't show in the man, that doesn't mean he doesn't have yeast infection. Because he does, because majority of these men are the ones that give women yeast infection because they are sleeping with other women that are sleeping with men that are sleeping with men, okay? And these men, majority of these men are not taking care of their health, okay? They're supposed to make sure that the woman's womb, yoni, vagina is balanced, pH is balanced, health is balanced, okay? They always claim, yeah, that's their PUSSY, but they're not taking care of their PUSSY, their vagina, okay? It's theirs, right? They claim it's theirs, but they ain't taking care of it. They're not taking care of the woman, okay? They don't understand that when a woman is sick, right? A woman is in more danger than a man. They don't understand this, okay? Because when a woman is pregnant, right, our lives are at risk, right? And for these men to be going out and cheating while their woman is pregnant, that is the most disrespectful thing a man can do to his women and children. Very disrespectful. At that time, he's supposed to be protecting his woman and his baby from catching anything. Okay? I've seen a video going around where, people are saying that Vybz. I was just about to say Vybz Kartel. Okay, I don't know, but I've been having a lot of dreams about him, but hey. Anyways, Cardi B. I don't know where Vibe Cartel just came up. Big up to Vibe Cartel, anyways, right? But yes, Cardi B cheated on Offset with another man while she was pregnant, right? And he's bashing her. He's calling her a whore and so forth. And, I don't condone that, right? Because everything is energy, vibration, frequency. You're bringing all that nasty, demonic, sexual energy to your baby, right? But at the same time, what is the difference if she does it and if he does it? Not because the baby is inside of her. That doesn't mean that it's all on her. If you as a man and you have a baby on the way, you shouldn't even have sex with anyone out there. No one. Okay? Because you can bring back something to your pregnant woman and your baby. Okay? Just like she can bring back something to her baby and you by having sex while she's pregnant. Right? But these men make it seem like it's only women that can catch an STD, or it's only a woman that's the hoe if she, sleep with another man while she's pregnant, or, sleep with another man. No. The men are the biggest whores ever. But they want to pin it on the women because they don't want to take accountability. They always be like, oh, you're a woman, but I'm a man. We're supposed to have more than one woman. No. No. You can. Okay, because we all have the free will to choose. right? But at the same time, you have all these women and you treat all of them like shit. It would make more sense if you have 3, 4 women and you treat all of them like a queen. And you treat all of them good. That will make more sense. I respect that more than just having 2, 3, 4 women and you treat them all like shit. Right? Not saying I condone that. Right? But at least it's better than, having a whole bunch of hoes. Right? But these men make it seem like they can do all these things to the woman, and when the woman does it to them, they want to unalive her, they want to beat her, they tell her she's for the streets and all of that. But if she's that, then what are you? If she's all of that, then you are too. And why would you even want to have sex with a woman that you claim is a hoe? Right? You met your match. You met your match, right? You met your match. Okay. Sometimes a woman is fed up and she wants to show a man that, look, you can do it, I can do it too. Okay? You can do it, I can do it too. Right? And I think that's what Cardi did too, because she may be fed up. He's always cheating on her and, making it seem like she doesn't matter. So she showed him like, look, I can do it too. Right? But the moment she does it, he want to flip out. You feel me? A lot of these men make, relationships all about sex when it's not all about sex. Sex is great, sex is beautiful, sex is magical. But it's not all about sex. It's all about connection. It's all about growing together, matching energy, learning each other, growing together, listening to each other, playing like children. You feel me? Building together, doing things together. That's what a relationship is about. That's what it's about. Not just about sex. Okay? Yeah, so these men in these times are really, really, off balance. They are off balance. Okay? It's like, honestly, I really feel like these men do not love women. They don't like women. A lot of them compete with women. Okay? I feel like a lot of these men are DL, down low. This is why they treat women the way they do, because the way I see it in these times, everything is about money. Sex and money. So they feel like if they have sex and they have money, they have a roof over their head, they have food, they can shit, that's all they need. That's how I see it. That's all they need. Okay? So they're just looking for pleasure. Alright? They're not diving deep. They're not trying to connect. Okay? Because a lot of these men are disconnected from their emotions anyways. So how are they going to be able to connect to women and children? Especially a real woman. A real woman is going to pull things out of a man. She's going to ask questions. She's going to want to go deep. She's going to want to conversate. She's going to want to do things that he probably is not ready to do. And he may shy away from that because he's not used to emotions. Okay? Not every man, but majority. Way too many. Okay? Way too many men. Alright? They're not connected. Okay? So they disconnect because once they feel like a relationship is gonna reach to a certain point, they back out because they're not used to that. Okay, they know it's a good relationship. They know that this woman is genuine and she really riding for him, right? But because he doesn't know how to give back that energy and he doesn't know how to receive it, he'll rather just walk away and he'll rather go deal with the regular girls that he's used to that doesn't even show emotions, that's nonchalant, that's just like him. Okay, he'll rather go back to that girl. He will say to his guys, like, yo, she's wife material. Like, she's actually the girl I really want. But he just doesn't know how to connect to her because he's disconnected from his higher self. He's disconnected from God. And he's disconnected from his emotions. So he doesn't know how to regulate his emotion. He doesn't know how to deal with his emotion wherever it comes to women and children. Okay? This just came to me. So I remember a couple months ago. Yeah. Was it August? I think it was August. I was walking. Okay? And a random guy just came up to me. He was younger than me, right? And he said, "Where can I find it?" I said, "Find what?" He's like, "The keys to your heart." And I said, "In God." And the moment I said God, he literally went like, and then he walked away so quick. Okay? This man walked away so quick. It's like a walk run. You know those walk run, right? It's like, whoa. I was like, I was so curious to know why he asked me, but the first thing that came to mind was like, he was trying to pick me up, right? So he walked so fast and so far, and I was like, I want to ask him, why did he ask me that question? And then I start walking back, and I was thinking, and I was like, wow. And I said, you know what? I'm going to ask him. So I called him, right? And I said, and I went up to him and I said, why did you ask me that question? He's like, well, that was just a pickup line, and it's just a pickup line. And I said, oh, okay. And he was just standing there like he wanted me to say more, And he was just gazing at me, just looking at me. I was like, oh, okay, I see. And I said, all right then. And I just walked away. A lot of these men are not connected to God. They're not connected to nature. They're not connected to women. They're disconnected. So they cannot, it's like a shallow end and a deep end. They cannot reach the deep end. They have to stay in the shallow end, okay? Because if they enter the deep end, they feel like they may get lost or they're scared to go to that level, okay? That was scary to me. Like when he walk run, like he's like, oh, shit. Like he wasn't expecting that answer, right? It was interesting to me because I was like, wait, why is he running? Should you not run to me, right? I said you can find the keys to my heart in God, right? But because he's not a man of God, he ran, literally. He walk ran. Okay? It's really sad. It's like, I remember I met this one guy, okay? And the first thing he said to me, do you go to church? I said, I don't go to church, but I do pray and I do have God in my life. And he's like, okay, I go to church. And I said, okay, that's very good. I like that. But he turned out to be a demon, a literal demon. He was a liar. He smoked. He drank. He did the total opposite. Okay, he done the total opposite. Okay, I feel like he knew, had an idea of what type of woman I am. So he used that card to try to reel me in. But no, I figured him out and I cut him off completely. He still tried to contact me, but I just cut him off completely. Okay, that Virgo cut off. You know that Virgo cold cut. Okay, Virgos, we don't play. We will cut you off like split ends. Okay. So yes, I cut him off and I said no, nada. This man invited me places, telling me he want to cook for me and all these things. You know, it sound good, but at the same time, I was like, hell to the no, no, no. I already see what you are about. You're not a man of God. You are literally the devil.